I'm Patrick.
This is Will.
And I'm Chris, and we are Guys with Issues. And today we're continuing our journey of Green Lantern-ish. It's Green Lantern Corps. 14 through 20? Is that right? 14 through 20?
Sounds about right.
Another issue of Green Lantern. Do we have any banter? I bet we do.
Banter man.
Do we have a lot?
I mean, I don't have a lot. I went to a festival.
A water lantern festival.
Yeah. There was a lot of people there.
Walk us through a water lantern festival.
They give you 4 sticks. You put them in holes already pre-drilled. And then you take the rice paper that comes with it. And you decorate it however you want. It's just a blank paper, and they have a little marker they give to you. And then you unfold the paper. You put it on this, little sticks.
Yep.
And you have your lantern. And then they give you a little battery-powered fake flame light.
Oh, they don't give you real fire, huh?
No.
Because they're like, we don't want them to catch on fire.
Right.
Insurance purposes.
See, the ones that float up in the air, you have to have real fire.
Right. No, these just float on the ground. On the water.
So where do they float to?
Ground.
Well, they just float. It's just a little.
Do they collect them afterwards? Do you
thing.
keep them?
They collect them afterwards
I see.
and recycle them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, it seems odd that you'd put batteries out on the water and just be like, see ya.
Right. No. They don't do that.
Okay. That sounds really cool.
Yeah. And then in the bag there was like a conversation deck, so you could go through that and
Like with the person you're with, like chat.
yes, and then a regular deck of cards, so you can play cards if you wanted.
So you're just like hanging out.
Yeah, you're just hanging out.
Interesting.
It started at I think 5:30 and ended around 10:30.
Did you stay for the whole thing?
No, we left soon after.
I thought maybe you guys just chilled.
Yeah, no.
How was the weather?
It was nice.
Yeah?
It was a little warm, but the breeze was nice.
Oh, Saturday. I don't know what it was here, but up in Chicago, it was like 80.
Right. It was like 77 or something, but it wasn't too bad because of the breeze.
Nice.
And I almost picked up some food from a food truck called Drop It Like It's Tot.
That had tater tots?
Yes, it did.
Wow.
Almost.
Why didn't you?
I wasn't hungry.
Oh, so it sounded good and you liked the name, but you were like, I don't need to.
Right.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I respect that. Cool. Did you do anything else last weekend? Was that the whole shebang?
No, that was all I did.
Wow. You actually had a mostly open weekend.
Yeah. I mean, before that.
you did work on your car Friday night.
Right. And then
But
before
that's not like
the
fun.
festival, I went to my brother's house, and my niece was getting ready to go to prom.
Oh, Joel's daughter?
No.
Aaron's daughter.
Yes.
I didn't know Aaron had a daughter. I don't know if we've ever talked about it.
We haven't.
Oh, well, there you go. When you said, since I knew that, because the festival was in Fort Wayne, right?
Right.
And so I made the assumption, or, well, technically presumption, because it's based on the direction
Right.
you'd be driving,
That's fair.
that it was Joel.
Yeah.
So that
And
you
my brother Clayton was at Aaron's house to see my niece.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, so
Cool.
he brought me my new lenses for my glasses.
I'll save you a trip.
Right.
That was nice of them.
It was.
Good family and festival-filled
Yeah.
frivolity, huh?
So there's a picture out there with me and my niece as she was ready for prom.
Out where?
Oh, nice.
On the internets?
I don't know.
The
Probably on
Facebooks?
Facebook. Yeah.
Facebooks or Instagrams?
I'd have
or
to get on
something?
Facebook to verify that. And who wants to do that? It's so much work.
I know,
Yeah.
right?
Wow. Yeah. Anyway,
So yeah, that's what happened for me.
cool. Sounds like a good time. So you would do the festival again?
I would.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would do it every year.
But like,
But
if
if
you
you're-
had an open weekend and you're like,
Yeah. Yeah, I would do that. Yeah.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
And there were a lot of people who did it?
Yeah, there were.
Cool. So one more question about that. Because it went on for like 5 hours,
Yeah.
was that because like it just allowed people to periodically show up and like it didn't have time frames for when you could do it?
The only time frame was I think 8:30 was when they told you how to put boats in the water.
Oh, okay.
Because
so they had a launch point.
Right, that was sundown.
I see. Okay.
And then I think it lasted for 2 hours after that, and then you were done.
Cool. But you did not stay.
No, I think we stayed till like 9.
Oh. What time did you end up going? Like, did you in the beginning or like kind of?
I think we were there about 6.
Wow. So you did stay for several hours.
Yeah.
A few hours.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, it was fun.
Sounds like a good time.
It was.
Man, for all of our listener,
yeah, if you're going on a date, I recommend.
And there's a water lantern festival. Hit that up.
Hit that
Located
up.
where?
Fort Wayne,
Yeah, but like
Indiana.
Anywhere
park?
that you have.
Sure, it is a park. I don't know which one.
So anywhere that you have water and lantern,
I'm sure
you
if
can
you look
make
up
your own.
Fort Wayne Water Lantern Festival,
It'll
you'll be
tell
able
you
to find
where.
all the information you would love to know about.
Yeah. And since several of our listeners are local, they should do that.
Yeah.
Not the one over in like Tanzania or what.
Right. You don't want to go to that one. Well, you might.
Well, you
but
might. It might be
hey.
spectacular, but it's probably going to be more than a little drive.
a little bit. Might get a little wet.
What about you? What?
Maybe they use real fire. Who knows?
I would hope so. What about you, Wilhelm?
I didn't do much. I went to Hunters. I met up with some friends.
Oh yeah,
I hadn't seen in a little while.
friends from your previous job.
Yep.
Did one of them used to have a podcast? Oh
Yes, maybe.
it'd be his
Nick.
wife. His
Nick,
wife.
who was
I mean, if he did,
Yeah.
Will didn't listen to it. So
well, technically Nick
Did
has
Amanda
been
go?
on no, she wasn't there.
Oh, okay. So she was not one of the friends that met.
No, it was Nick and then
Our into the across the Spider-Verse
guest.
guest.
Yeah,
Yep.
and then
So long.
two people who used to work there but then left, and then one person who still works there. I don't know if we're doing names.
Oh, well, I can guess them. I mean, do we care about names as much as
No.
we used to? We used to be kind of guarded, but I'm pretty sure that it doesn't matter.
No.
But I'm gonna guess Nick was there. Mm-hmm. Olivia was there.
No.
Oh, you said somebody that still works there, which made me think Melissa.
Nope.
And then that made me think
Melissa's in Tennessee, or was in Tennessee.
Oh man. So was Nick the one that still works there, or were you counting him separately?
Technically, I was counting him separately since I was using his name. It was Nick, Ruby, Roxana, and Farmer David.
Oh, how are they doing?
Oh, they're doing good.
I miss Roxana.
Yeah, she's going through her apprenticeship at the electrical unit.
I was gonna say she's being an electrician.
Yeah. She still has a few years to go before she gets like her journeymanship or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
And then Farmer David's working over at Southwire.
Does he like it?
He don't
Everybody says it kind of sucks.
He says the hours suck because like half the month you have to work like 6 12-hour shifts.
Yeah.
Like the schedule's a little bit intense, but
I think that's better than it used to be. At one time, I think you just worked 12-hour shifts most of the time.
yeah. He says the work is super easy because he just has to watch a machine and make sure it keeps running. So he basically just sits there the entire time.
Listens to audiobooks or something.
Just does whatever, and just, the machine just keeps
I don't
going.
know if I would like that or absolutely hate it.
I would absolutely hate that.
I would hate it too. I was at work the other day. Okay.
Oh man, here he goes.
Oh man,
He has his hand up. It's
Hand
karate
up.
chopping.
This kind of aggravated me a little bit.
We can tell already.
But I had to go to an area of the shop I usually don't go to. There's this
Clown.
yeah, he's a clown.
Wow.
It's basically like a CNC controlled bandsaw, right?
they call
Oh,
it the
man.
clown.
Yeah, like it's a big thing. And I look over to this table, and this guy has his phone set up, and he's watching anime while the saw just like does the work and then pushes the material off into a bin. And then like, because it's a lot slower running because it's cutting heavier metal.
Yeah.
So like it takes a long time for it to run through a full extrusion. And so he's just like, I mean, the supervisor and stuff was right there. So obviously he saw it too and doesn't care. But then, I'm running around busting my butt and like, what is this guy over here doing? This is kind of bogus. I didn't even recognize what anime he was watching.
That was going to be my next question, knowing Will's being so versed in
I'm not-
anime.
Based
There's
off
so
the-
much now, though.
So much.
It's flooded. It had to be one of the newer ones because I didn't recognize it. And I'm not up on any of the newer shows.
You know, it was probably Solo Leveling. That's what it is. That's the popular one right now. It's one of them.
Pretty good.
Could have been. I
You're like, don't know.
have no idea.
Yeah, I think my wife's watched some of that one. I think.
Therefore,
Anyway.
you are.
Therefore, I'm not.
Oh,
But,
Yeah.
well, that's cool.
Roxana asked about the podcast and then said that we should talk about something else so she can relate. And then I told her no.
Well, good. Good. Put her in her place.
And I did.
Yeah. She'd listen to it if it was all about anime. Maybe.
Yeah, or life problems.
That's all she ever had. No, I'm just kidding. That was a joke. That was a joke.
Anime and life problems is the
No.
only thing she has.
that
No,
sounds like
she
my
didn't-
life.
That was that was funny. That was a good one. But so, well, it sounds like you've had an exciting week. Then
Yeah, it was something.
it was something. Well, I went to the Chicago Comic and Entertainment Expo for the weekend. So I'll banter myself a little bit this week. So I got to meet Freddie Prinze Jr., got a thing signed for my wife, for him. And from Dragon Age, he plays a character called Iron Bull. Have you met Iron Bull? He's
Nope.
I can't think of the race. They're the ones with the big horns, though.
I gathered that from the bull part.
You don't know? Whatever. Dude, just because you have a moniker that says bull doesn't mean you look like a bull.
I mean,
Right?
I mean, you're not wrong. But
Anyway.
usually, there's horns involved.
Only in certain things.
Usually a helmet or something like that, yes.
So anyway, I did that for her. She likes this thing called Cyanide and Happiness. Got her some stuff from there.
Yep, you did.
And she liked that a lot. I got to meet Kevin Smith, who is Silent Bob and the creator of Clerks and Mallrats and Jay and Silent Bob and all that. No? Don't know? Wow.
never heard of any of it.
That's crazy. You are pretty young, though. So that was cool. And that was because Nick and Talia wanted to get photos and autographs and stuff. I had a good time. We went to karaoke Saturday night. That was fun.
Nice.
It was pretty crazy. A lot of cool cosplay. Cosplay's really changed over the years. It used to be that you'd see a handful of people cosplaying. And now I bet Saturday it was like at least 40% of the entire crowd.
Wow.
It was like being at a Ren fair, like where so many attendees dress up for Ren fairs. That's kind of how Comic-Con is now. Like you can buy bodysuits and different stuff just off the internet. And even like you'll see people walking around in like Halloween costume level stuff where it used to be you had to make it all.
yeah.
Also, anime, by far the majority of cosplay now.
It's interesting. Yeah.
Comic
Interesting.
books. I would almost say anime was the top, followed by either Disney or Star Wars related stuff, and then superhero related stuff probably last. Honestly, video games too. Tons of video game cosplay, tons and tons. So that was cool. I went for a walk across town, like 2 miles, or in dress shoes, feeling incredibly uncomfortable in the 80-degree heat,
yeah.
sweating through my clothes because my family was waiting at a train stop because they tried to hit an earlier train and missed it by like 30 seconds. Like they got to the platform and it left. And so finding out that they had a 2-hour wait and they were up in Chicago, I walked from the convention center over to the train station that they were at. To hang out for like an hour.
Cool.
And so that was exciting. It was
Right.
interesting walking across Chicago. I'd never done it like to that level before.
Yeah.
Like I'd walk downtown to like hit up shops or restaurants or whatever before, but to actually just like kind of be walking where there's residential stuff and things, it was interesting. And that was yeah. Thankfully, it wasn't raining or any, I probably wouldn't. I mean, I wouldn't have gone if it was raining, I suppose. But yeah, it was a good convention. I sat in. So one of the coolest parts, besides karaoke, that was a ton of fun. I sat in on a panel that was the 10-year anniversary of Star Wars Rebels, which was really cool. They had the voice actors from pretty much the whole cast of the main characters, plus the guy that plays Thrawn, and he live acts Thrawn on Ahsoka.
Oh.
So that was cool, getting to listen to them talk. And that was the first time the cast had ever met him in person. He was the only one that hadn't been there in person to record.
Oh, that's cool.
Because he's Danish, and so he was in Denmark when he would record. And his brother is Mads Mikkelsen, so that was interesting. He was also there. So yeah, the panel was super interesting to listen to. They had a lot of stories and joking around, and it was fun. It was fun to watch them be up there. It's like people who like listening to us, right?
Yeah.
Like it's just a bunch of friends hanging out.
Bunch of friends.
And I
Chit-chatting.
laughed pretty good,
Oh, good.
a couple times on the panel. But yeah, stayed Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm going to do Fan Expo too, I believe, in August. And I think Sierra's going to come up for a day.
Oh, nice.
And I think Patrick's going to come up for a day. I think that, so I'm going to announce this now for all of you who are reading along with Green Lantern. Jeff Johns is going to be at Fan Expo.
Ooh.
So the creator of what we've been doing,
Yes, he
is going to
created
be
this
there.
podcast.
Yep, it was his podcast inspiration.
He called Will up and he was like, "Hey, I got an idea for you. Get some friends, start reading.
Yeah,
Have issues.
Have issues."
but I've never been to a convention where he was at. And he has like this private label thing he's doing now with these like non-IP'd comics. So
that's cool.
It's not like superhero. I think they're, well, I'm not. They look either like sci-fi or apocalyptic or something maybe. But several of the writers and artists and things that worked on the Green Lantern run are going to be there because they're part of his new thing. So
That's interesting.
Almost all of the main artist, Ivan or Even Race, that did most of the Green Lantern with him, is going to be there too. And I've never gotten any of my stuff signed by him either. So that's one that I'm going to go to just for that. Also, Patrick Warburton. So
Yeah.
So Will, that's Kronk from Emperor's New Groove.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, that guy.
The guy that needs to voice the characters on Helldivers.
Oh, absolutely.
100%. He does. Yeah.
I might get a photo with him just to get him to say a line from Helldivers. If I could get him to say it.
If you could.
If he would agree, I'd be all over it.
Right.
But Alan Tiddick's there too, Wash from Firefly
yeah.
And K2SO. And
You know, I wonder if you wouldn't have a better time just doing a
signature
signing
trying to do
instead.
it?
Yeah.
I don't know. It depends. It depends on how they are.
Well,
Different people are different.
Well, usually they
The signing people
push
will
people
stand
through
there.
the photo
They do.
so fast.
And the signing one, sometimes they will chat too long.
Sure.
Like
But if
I've been
that's
in
the
line.
case,
That's what I'm saying.
then you'll be good. You know, that'll probably happen.
He might even have, once in a while, people will be like, yeah, and they'll tell you how much they'd charge, but you can pay for them to like record something for you.
Sure.
Like your voicemail. Like I wouldn't be surprised if he was like, yeah, I'll do a Kronk voicemail. Yeah, you read. Like I could totally see
I could too.
him doing something like
He's a
you just
pretty
pay.
good dude.
Yeah.
So it all comes down to just monetization, right? We pay for the voice pack.
Can you imagine reaching a point in your life where someone's going to pay you money just to say words in a funny voice?
I mean,
You don't
I
understand.
see people who do that all the time.
That's his actual voice.
Yeah, he doesn't do.
He
Well, I
doesn't.
didn't say it was a fake voice. I just said it was a funny voice.
Dude, he told a story. I watched an interview with him where he was like, yeah, they'll call me in and have me read. They'll be like, "Hey, we want you to try to read for this character," and he starts in like 2 lines, and they're like, "Thanks, that's enough," because they're like, "Yeah, no, never mind." It's hilarious. He's like, "I can't do it. He's a one-trick pony." Mm-hmm. He's impressed with the people who can do all kinds of voices, but yeah, I mean, it's the same people that will pay you to just put your signature on something.
Yeah, that's.
But yeah, it was a good time. And one other thing that was kind of cool was, so I just dressed the way that I do to the office. I wore like my shirt and tie and a vest and stuff just because I thought it would be fun. And Nick and Talia then did the same.
Oh,
and
nice.
When they would be asked who they were cosplaying as, they would point at me and say, "That guy."
Oh, that's fun.
And I was like, wow. They're like, "We're all Chris." So it was hilarious. Nick had way too much fun
I bet.
making jokes about that. So yeah, it was a good weekend. It was a lot of fun. It was exhausting. I didn't eat any food that was noteworthy, like really worth talking about.
Oh, that's upsetting.
I will tell you, I got an appetizer from this tap house. There was pretzels with different dipping sauce. And one was like a mustard.
And you loved it.
One was a cheese. And one was a beer whipped cream. So it was like the consistency of whipped cream, but it tasted like you were drinking beer straight out of the glass.
It's weird.
Whoa.
It was delicious.
Don't
And
know
they
how I feel about
used
that.
one of those Hefeweizens that are like the German, you know what I mean? Because it was with the pretzels.
Sure.
It was, dude, it was good.
So it wasn't an
So
IPA.
No, thank goodness.
Thank
Although
goodness.
IPAs, to be fair, IPAs don't make bad beer cheese. They work okay with beer cheese.
Okay.
That and stouts, you're better off than using like a Pilsner for your beer cheese.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Fun facts with Christopher.
Yeah, I've made homemade beer cheese a couple times, so I've tried some different things. Used some different recipes. I discovered a new recipe. Technically, I was dressed like Ignis. Or like one. I probably looked. I actually kept getting asked if I was anime characters. They would say very Japanese names. They'd be like,
I'm
"Are
sure.
you so-and-so or so-and-so?" And one time I was like, "Nope." And then they were like, "Are you guy in a suit?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm guy in a suit." And they're like, "Guy in a suit." And it was just, it was dumb and funny and very con. And so it was funny when I would get asked if I was an anime character. And I would usually tell them I'm just channeling my inner anime character.
Right.
I had anime energy.
You always have anime energy.
Yeah, that's kind of
Despite the fact he says he doesn't watch anime.
I know.
Oh, well, I've been watching anime, but it's just Gundam. That's all I've been watching.
That's anime.
As far as anime goes. But nobody's using like powers or charging up or anything like that. But I will tell you, one of the funniest interactions that I had was when I first got there and Nick was going to go park the car, gave Talia and I a room key. And so we had the guy came out and got the bags. And the guy who was directing traffic and was talking to us was like, "Hey," he's like, you famous?" And I was like, "No." And I was like, "Why, do I look famous?" He goes, "Yeah, you look like somebody famous." And I was like, "Well, I'm just a regular guy." And he stopped and he squinted at me and he goes, "That's exactly what a famous person would say." He's like, I get it. You just want to be." And I was like, "Okay." So no joke. We get up to the room and I looked at Talia and I was like, "What was that?" Which, to be fair, that I was like, I guess that's me channeling my inner Zachary Levi again, right? Or
Right.
whatever.
Yeah.
But I looked at Talia and I went, "Do I give off like a vibe like that?" And this is, again, I told you how I was dressed.
Right.
And she was like, "Maybe a little." And I was just like, "Oh, okay. Whatever." So that made me feel special for
Sure.
a minute. But I was just like, I think that guy legit believed that I was just like lying to him.
Probably.
He's
what I
like,
was like.
"I'm going to figure out who that is." But yeah, that was a fun first experience of being there.
Sure.
But I had some random people ask me to be in a picture and I was like, no. It was like a group of like 5 or 6 people getting their picture taken.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Hey, do you want to be in our picture?" And I was like, "No." It's all
Just
these
Chris
all these,
photobombing everybody.
It's just like a bunch of ladies, like just like middle-aged ladies. And they were like, "You want to be in our picture?" I was like, "No, no, thanks though. I don't think I need to."
That's hilarious.
It's like, awkward. It was
Yeah.
awkward.
Sure.
Okay, but yeah, so it was fun time though, because I can just have my full energy out on the. I'm like dancing. There's music playing everywhere. I'm dancing around and having fun, and
Yeah,
I'm a con man.
you sure are.
Anyway, I took the banter segment this time.
Good job.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Lorena's going to get her full hour today.
Well, she wanted me to tell her about C2E2, and I was like, I'm going to talk about it on the podcast. I told her some stuff that I didn't talk about here, but yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, good. We had a decent amount last week.
Did we?
Yeah. The episode ran about an hour.
Definitely wasn't my fault.
No. Do we have an email? Do we have any this
I
week?
don't remember.
Christoph sent one.
Oh, there you go.
Look at
Man.
wow.
Yep, I'm
So wait,
taking-
have none of us read this?
I have not read it.
I've read it.
Oh,
I just
you
pulled
did.
it up.
I just didn't remember when he sent it.
Oh, if it was this week.
Yeah.
I see.
April 24th.
Oh, that's like this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
And it's called Calling Out a Hypocrite. Guys, okay, got to do some pro bono legal defense here
He's
of
gonna
my
defend
wonderful,
Patrick.
amazing, and brilliant father-in-law. Chris calling him out for having saved yerba mate gourds for 30 years
that's-
in the same issue where he just shamelessly admitted to digging out a PlayStation 3, first launched in 2006, that is more than 18 years old, as a little bit hypocritical.
30 years versus 18. That's like a 90% increase.
Look, you can look at me with that face all you want, but I didn't write that email.
True. No, we all save stuff.
Yeah, we do.
We do. We all save it. I just blew my mind that he still had it and that he still uses it. That's what blew my mind.
Right.
Right. I am sure I'm not the only one that now demands a live on-air yerba mate tasting by the guys with issues. Does it really taste like rabbit pellets, or is it the earthy, grassy flavors? Inquiring minds need to know. Hadn't gotten around to reading Ion yet, so no opinions from my butt. I am pretty sure the Smurfs are going to be my favorite characters since their author of the real Smurfs was Belgian.
It's true.
Wow. That's crazy. That also makes sense. It has like European vibes.
Sure.
It does. Like,
So does Christoph.
yeah, he does.
Yeah, he does.
Keep on padding around. Love the content. Long or short, doesn't matter as long as Will does those smooth throat clearings. Yours sincerely, the Shaka Boomiest, the Trekkie, the first emailer, the longest emailer, Shirley now, the most faithful listener, the Trekkie Lorder Supreme, the actual reader of the comics, the more emailer than Logan, right? The holder of truth about fries, the no longer saddest, the I want to be Patrick too, Christoph.
Oh,
He added another one.
I thought he was going to add. What did we say?
I don't remember.
Oh, you know what? I think we said it in last week's issue.
Right.
About something. So that airs tomorrow.
It does.
So he hasn't heard
Yes.
that yet. So I'm sure the next one will have another one. And since this doesn't contain a spoiler at this point,
Right.
I hope you enjoyed listening to
Yes.
us try yerba mate on air.
Yep. That's the thing that happened.
And you now know our opinions. All of you who listened last week know the opinion that we have.
Yeah.
In our special Does It Yerba Mate segment. I think that's what we called it. I listened to it today.
Sure.
Yeah.
Also, the throat clearing of Will is going to be another tier on our Patreon.
Oh, gum removal.
Gum removal is one, and
throat
throat
clearing.
clearing is the other.
The throat clearing always goes into the podcast.
Yeah, but they get their own special throat clearing.
Ooh,
That
that sounds spicy.
Ugh. Yeah.
Hey,
punch
I'm not going to pay for that tier.
You know, I had something to show Will. I showed you, and I left it on my desk at work.
Oh, did you?
But so I'm going to tell you. It'd be funnier to hear him see it, but I'm just going to tell you. I had a tea at work that came out of a variety pack, and I've had it for months. And
Too scared to try it?
It was lemon, but it was like a green tea, and I just don't drink them that often. I like them, but it's not what I pull. And I saw the lemon on the label and thought, I'm kind of feeling that. And it said lemon mate, and I read it, and the first thing it said was yerba mate. It was a tea bag with yerba mate and green tea and lemon. And I had my mind blown, and I showed Patrick, and he laughed so hard. Yep. And I go, I've had this for months, and I never read it. So when Will talked about it, I didn't even know I had one.
Wow, you guys are both holding yerba mate, lying about it.
Mine wasn't the good stuff. It wasn't the loose leaf, fancy straw gourd thing.
So,
it was just a tea bag. And by the way, it tasted like lemon and green tea. Nothing like what the actual stuff that we had on the podcast tasted like.
So is it lying if
mild.
you actually do not remember it?
That is a good question. If you don't know you're lying, are you lying?
No, I think lying takes intent.
Write in at longbox at guyswithissues.com and let us know.
Do you believe that to lie, you have to intentionally tell an untruth? Or if you are wrong and telling something, are you actually lying in the moment?
Right.
Yeah,
that is the issue of the week.
That's the issue of the week. We'll take votes. Everybody, write in. Let us know. We'll tally it up.
I thought you were going to say clap your hands. Sorry.
Everybody clap your hands?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Anyway.
Anywho.
Roomba Will. You know what time it is.
Roomba Will.
Roombasa.
Gotta get those throat clears in
That
there.
was amazing.
Sorry.
Yes. Months back, when flying on a mission to bomb a group of Russian terrorists, Hal, Cowgirl, and Rocket Man are shot out of the sky and taken prisoner. Had Hal been wearing his power ring, it would have been simple to escape. After being beaten and interrogated for 2 months, the 3 pilots finally break free. Now the memory of that time still haunts them. Cowgirl gets sent on a mission to bomb the same group, only to get shot out of the air and taken prisoner again. Hal dons his ring and rushes off to Russia for the rescue. Only he gets more than what he bargained for when bounty hunters sent by Amon Sir attack. How will Hal survive this time? Find out today on Guys with Issues.
Noise.
Yeah.
Noise.
So, did you feel like there were connected but almost 2 separate story arcs in this one again?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Just double check.
It was a little bit disjointed.
I don't know, because Cowgirl was still kind of central.
Yeah.
So much of this is like big picture setup, and it all winds together.
That's what I was going to say.
But anyway, structure. So, Patrick.
Yeah.
Did you have a favorite part?
Oh, I don't know.
You don't know? You looked so ready.
Oh, I
Your
was not
eyes
ready at
looked
all.
ready.
I was ready
You
to
had
say
your
something
tablet.
else.
Oh, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, look, if he's dead set on not taking his ring with him while flying.
It was the same time.
I understand. I get it. At least charge the dumb thing.
Yeah, I know. Right?
Because that was why he couldn't summon it. It didn't have enough charge.
Yeah. I think they had to make up an excuse.
That was truly an IT manager frustration right there.
Like, if you're going to take your laptop.
Why don't you take your charger too? Why don't you just keep it charged?
Anyway. Favorite?
I'm going to say
was hoping
when the
you'd
Justice League showed up to help.
And fought the Rocket
Green
Red.
Lantern and fought Rocket Red, yep.
Yeah, when they showed up and they were like, Hal, we're taking you. And he's like, no, you're not.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, that was good. I was hoping somebody would mention that. It was a good scene.
It was a good
What
scene.
about it did you like?
Just seeing all the superheroes interact with each other and
some of the
Down
dialogue.
people.
Dude, Wonder Woman was funny.
Right.
She's
Yeah.
like, we had to put it to a vote that if you were innocent or not. And he was like, what? And she's like, kidding. Also, I like that Batman backed up Hal again.
Yep.
It's those little things, man.
It is.
That make it so good. But I like that he was like, we got you, you know. So, Will, what was your favorite scene?
Mine was at the end when Hal's been captured, and you think, how is he actually going to get out of this? And it turns out that the bounty hunter who captured him is actually Jon Stewart in disguise.
I wondered, I
that was
expected
good.
you to talk about this because Jon Stewart was the Lantern that you grew up with because you watched the Justice League show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's been completely absent, almost like
Because he was
virtually
undercover.
this entire. I'm like, where has this guy been the entire time? Why doesn't he just show up?
You know.
And now we know.
Yep.
It
Yeah.
was all planned.
And they really played that off well.
They did.
Because, like, I really was like, I don't remember Cowgirl getting killed.
Yeah, I had a.
Yeah.
I was like, there's something up with this because when he was saying like the girl's dead and all this stuff, Hal didn't really react like he
Not that-
probably would have had she actually died.
Yeah. But I was just like,
I was
But
like,
yeah,
there's
I was
something
like, something's
weird
off.
going on here, and then
But-
they revealed it right after that. So
but it was awesome.
it was.
It was
It was
awesome.
good.
Yeah. Good scene.
It was.
I should have had my notes pulled up. What are you doing?
Doo-doo.
My favorite scene is probably, I had a couple, but I'm gonna say the conversation between Cowgirl and Hal at the bar, like after
That was a good one.
she was
Yeah.
rescued,
Yeah.
but before she became the Star Sapphire.
Yeah.
Like when they were at the
yeah.
bar, and she's like, "I wouldn't fly with the ring either. I don't blame you," and because he was saying that he
Right.
blames himself, and she's like, "Whatever, dude." She's like, "You didn't shoot our planes down."
See,
You did
here's
stop,
the thing though. He didn't tell her that he didn't charge the ring before he left.
She still wouldn't blame him. She
I
wouldn't.
would.
Patrick's like, "You are 100% to blame."
Just charge a ring.
It's not that hard.
It's not that hard.
You say a
know
handful
what?
of words and it's done.
The
you don't even have
lantern-
to plug it in.
The battery was right next to the ring in his locker. I mean, come on.
Speaking of which, that splash scene, that splash page, after he rips it out, his ring and the lantern, after he's about to go save Cowgirl.
Oh, the one that's
yeah.
my phone background.
Yeah.
Oh, I dropped it.
Yeah.
He dropped it.
I hadn't dropped it since I got a new one.
Put another mark on drop bingo.
That one.
Yes.
Yeah, the cool one. He's like,
Looks better on regular page.
eh. But yeah, that was a good moment.
Yes.
Did you have any other?
How about
moments
we
you
talk
liked?
about
I
when...
did.
Yeah.
oh, you do?
Oh.
You
Yeah,
can
I
go.
have
Let's
another
do
one.
this.
I liked when
I like this.
Sinestro's ring went after Batman.
Ooh, that was
Yeah,
literally,
when they. Yeah.
literally what I was about to bring up.
I have it down too because it's awesome because they're like, you have the ability to instill great fear. And it's like,
And we're
no,
all
God,
like,
it's
yeah, he
Batman.
does.
Yeah. So he would have been the number one fear inducer in Sector 2814, which is awesome.
Right. I am surprised, though, it didn't go from Batman to the Joker.
Joker's not the scariest guy anyway. There's another Batman villain that you are over.
Oh, that's just because of drugs.
But he instills great fear.
That's fair.
Spoilers.
Scarecrow.
That might happen eventually.
Oh,
Maybe. We'll see. Oh, shoot. But, yeah, it just makes you wonder what Batman could have done with that. But he's not a bad guy.
No,
so he's not going to fight alongside Sinestro.
right. He would fight Sinestro.
Yeah, and probably Arquillo. But I also like when it was like, whoa, willpower override. Oh,
Yeah.
exposure to the green ring. See ya.
Yep.
The ring.
His suit was cool when it like started to transform and it had the bat.
Sure.
Because we saw the one where it was like the bat but the Green Lantern
Yep.
mixed together. And then we saw his bat suit mixed with like the fear
Oh, you know what?
mixed together.
Wow. That's interesting. Because I'm trying to think. He gets a few different chances at different suit vibes over the course of the whole run, I think. But they're not like center point kind of stuff.
Sure.
That's interesting. But yeah.
Will Batman be the only one to hold all the rings at one point in time?
Nope.
Spoilers.
He's not. He couldn't. No. So anyway,
He doesn't have enough fingers. Is that what you're saying?
you only need 9.
Oh, maybe he only has 8. I don't know.
Wait, 7. You only. Well. Oops.
Multiple
So,
spoilers.
anyway.
One issue.
Do you guys have any other parts you liked? Any other stuff
I'm
that
good.
stood out?
Nothing that.
One thing I liked, well, Patrick and I talked about that we liked the scene where Hal kisses the Zamaron, and she's like, "What are you doing?" He's trying not to throw up.
That was a good one.
That was funny. The look on his face is what made that.
Yeah, it was.
Also, when the Star Sapphire bursts through the bar and Cowgirl gets up, I like that she's all like actually scratched up and bleeding and stuff because the bar wall blew up.
Right.
Like sometimes they don't draw that.
Sure.
Like I like that carried.
Or if they do, it's just like faint lines.
Yeah, no, she looked like she survived an explosion.
Yeah. I didn't really talk about that because I didn't know how to exactly tie those two together in my synopsis about the
It's okay.
Starfire thing.
Star Sapphire.
Star Sapphire.
Starfire. Sorry.
Whatever.
But-
same difference.
No, it's not. She's totally different. She's a Tamaranian anyway. Okay.
Yeah, get it right, Will.
Yeah. I do like the spectrum building moment at the end where the Zamarons have like that big vault room and you see the pedestals for the other lanterns. So they know the whole picture because they used to be Guardians, like part of the Guardians. I thought that was cool. Another thing I really liked was the line that was very brief, but it ends up being super important as they introduce the spectrum colors, which by the way, we are reading this, and I read this the first time as somebody who watched like the special feature. So you knew that there were other colors that were coming.
Right.
But could you imagine reading it back then before any of that had taken place, and all of a sudden you see like that page that shows there's going to be like 7 different lantern colors?
Yeah.
And how what you would have been like, what is going on? Like, that's such a cool idea to think the impact it would have had.
I thought it was a cool page.
Oh yeah, for
That was
sure.
definitely cool.
But I liked how they said that the further from the center of the spectrum, the greater the influence of the power over the bearer. And that's why Star Sapphires can't be controlled, because they're the furthest out from the center, which is green. Because it's Roy G. Biv. It's a rainbow. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. Those are your lanterns. And so red and violet are generally harder to control themselves. They have less agency over their power because of how far they are from the center being green.
Yeah.
And they said that line in this, and I was like, oh, good setup.
Yeah.
A little bit of lore that goes a long way. So I like
That's
that.
Chris's favorite thing.
A little bit of lore that goes a long way.
Yep.
Yeah, that's why I struggle with Sanderson. He is a lot of bit of lore. A whole lot of bit of lore. And sometimes it only goes a little bit away.
That's true.
Depending. But did you have a favorite character?
I was going to say Hal. It's
Hal
easy.
again?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hal, yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to start using that.
Did you read any of that Batman run yet? The Tom King Batman run that I told you was really good with the City of Bane?
No, not yet.
Okay, there's a character called Kite Man in it. And he's like a super lame superhero. But anyway, it doesn't matter since you didn't read it. Who is your favorite character, Will?
I'm going to go with Jon Stewart.
For the surprise!
For the surprise. I'm like, ooh, that was so good.
It's true. It was good. I also like the surprise of finding out that Carol and her husband have gotten a divorce.
Just like
And
randomly.
it's like,
yeah.
that's why she was so upset about the cowgirl thing. Oops.
Oops.
Ugh.
What are you gonna do?
And Hal's like, well, crap, now my life's complicated. So I'm going to pick Cowgirl because I think her character is fun.
Yeah.
And she escaped herself. She escaped from being captured.
The second time, yeah.
The second time. She crashed that Jeep. And
She's my runner-up.
Was she?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's a fun, I feel like you really got an idea of who she is. And she really is kind of a female Hal Jordan, which she says.
Yeah.
He's like, oh. She's like, what? I thought you weren't afraid of anything. He's like, I'm not afraid.
Maybe a little.
I also like that she picked up that it was him right away because they know each other so well.
Yep.
So, but yeah, Cowgirl. She was my favorite character. You guys have any other characters you wanted to mention? Anybody?
I did not this time, no.
I want to say Kilowog, even though he wasn't in it.
Oh, I was like,
I think there was like either a flashback page with him on it.
Maybe. And if there was, great. I'll take
There
it.
was. It was when the Green Lantern Corps, the old one before Hal destroyed it, went and notified Amon Sur and his mom about
Oh, yes.
oh, he
his
was
dad.
in that one
Yep.
panel.
That
He was
Perfect.
standing-
one panel and one page.
Calling him out.
Can we, well, anyway. Okay, did you have a least favorite part?
Let me look at my notes.
He's checking the notes, folks. Checking the notations. A part that he didn't like. He didn't like that Hal didn't charge his ring. I was so glad he talked about that. That was what I expected.
Yes, that was
That was what
definitely the part.
I
I mean, if you're going to be dumb, be smart about it.
now that's a shirt. If you're going to be dumb, be smart about it.
Put it on a shirt.
So,
Yeah, that's it. No, that's
that is
my
the
least
part?
favorite part.
okay. Wilhelm, did you have a least favorite part?
The only part I had I didn't like is whenever Amon Sur was talking, is what I wrote. Because he is just so whiny. And he's
Yeah.
like, oh, I didn't have a daddy and he didn't come back for me. And it's like,
And he's like, I
Come
should
on.
have gotten his ring.
yeah, like he was, yeah.
So for those of you who are unaware, Amon Sur is Abin Sur's son. Abin Sur being the Green Lantern who crashed on Earth and died, whose ring was given to Hal Jordan.
Yes. That was,
Bequeathed it to Hal. And Hal became the Green Lantern, Sector 2814. And Amon Sur thinks he was robbed of his inheritance. And his father. What?
He's an idiot.
I mean, he was a coward. They showed that,
Right.
right? But then he got a yellow ring at the end.
He did.
He did. He got to be scary, I guess.
Yes.
Well, I mean, he talked about having killed like thousands of people and stuff. So
yeah, because he was in the black circle or the black.
Oh yeah, he was like an
market or
assassin or some
then they turned
group, and he
'cause
killed all of them and their families.
Yeah, because Kyle Rayner stopped him. And he's like, I got thwarted by somebody else. Let me just kill all of my friends.
So, yeah, I guess that's why he's scary,
I guess.
right? Because he killed them.
I
And their
feel like
families.
this whole arc was just setting up
The
like
Sinestro Corps War.
Yeah, the Wanted Hal Jordan arc is just setting up like Amon Sur's background, his conflict with Hal, and then that's basically it.
No, I mean, like
Because then you have like
I would say,
the Star Sapphire
yeah, that set up the
That's
fact
setting
that there's
up
a
the
new ring.
multi-
Yeah,
spectrum
That's true.
thing.
So, I didn't really have a least favorite part. I thought about it, but there wasn't anything that like really grated against me or stood out this time. I tried to keep an eye out, and I thought about it, and it just didn't. I didn't have anything that really jumped out about it. I did feel bad for the girl who was at Stonehenge and got taken by the Star Sapphire. And then then when it took over Carol, she left her in a crashing plane. Like the Star Sapphire, she died.
Right, yeah.
She 100% is dead. And I was just like, oh, that's
Yeah, I thought that was a bit heartbreaking.
yeah, which is suitable, right? Because it was the Star Sapphire. It's all about love, hearts, and stuff. But no, I tried to. There wasn't a part that I truly thought was lacking. I thought most of it, if anything, it was just that. No, I was going to say that it felt like two different stories, but that was intentional. It even had two different titles to the stories.
Oh yeah,
I did.
So it was just shorter arcs put into one collection, kind of. So anyway,
Sure.
no, I didn't really have one. Least favorite character.
A monster.
And Will's like, same.
A monster. Yes.
I'll say a monster too, because he was
Well,
annoying. He was an annoying character.
Unanimously agreed upon that he is
Whiny. Is that why?
I think so.
You just didn't like him.
No.
And that was pretty much, it was just like, dude.
Like, for the same reasons, but the complete opposite reasons is why I don't like Guy.
That's funny. So where Guy is like brash and cocky, this guy was like pathetic.
Pathetic and annoying.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you find them both annoying.
Yes.
so either ends of the spectrum.
Right.
So that's the annoyance spectrum.
So the amount you like people is basically like a bell curve.
It is.
Can't be
100%.
You got to be like in the middle.
Right.
Moderate, with minimal annoyance, not overly cocky or pathetic.
Right. Please and thank you.
Makes sense. Were there any other characters you guys wanted to mention? I thought it was interesting that you got to see that each time the Yellow Lanterns were accepted, that they got pulled into that like antimatter universe.
Yeah, I did see that.
I thought that was cool.
Can somebody please explain to me how the antimatter universe can make a ring that works fine in the regular matter universe?
Yeah, same way that if you go to the antimatter universe, your normal ring works.
No, I mean like the material they use to make it out of.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how does this work? Because matter and antimatter don't like each other.
It's not an antimatter ring. It's the universe it's in. It's like a sub-layer to the physical universe they're in. It's like a parallel universe.
The other side.
It's like a pocket dimension.
Okay, so they just call it the antimatter universe, and it's not actually a universe made out of antimatter.
No, this is basically it is. There's
no true science associated with this, Patrick.
Okay.
So there's also a character from Crisis on Infinite Earths and Infinite Crisis, I think. Was he in Infinite Crisis? He was on Crisis on Infinite Earths, where we saw the monitors. Do you remember that when the ion stuff?
Yes.
There were the monitors. There is a character called the Anti-Monitor that's like stupidly powerful and like trying to destroy the matter universe. And he is in the antimatter universe. But anyway.
That doesn't help.
I'm just telling you. It's just like a parallel dimension.
Okay.
It's the name of it.
All right.
Because here's the thing. You have the matter, the antimatter, and the doesn't matter. And I think that's where we're going to have to end it. It just doesn't matter.
It's true. It doesn't matter.
But no, it's not that things are made of antimatter.
Okay.
So, yeah. And the weaponers of Quard do preside there.
I just assumed because they were like, this is the opposite of matter. And I'm like, well, that's antimatter.
I always thought that doesn't matter. I thought if it is the opposite of it matters, it doesn't matter.
It's the opposite.
I'm just kidding.
Each piece of, each atom and stuff.
Yeah.
Antimatter is just charged the complete opposite.
Yeah.
And
I think it's just
combine and annihilate.
I'm fairly certain that it was probably just a term coined back like 40 or 50 years ago in comic books.
Okay.
So, but yeah, anyway. Any other questions, concerns, comments?
So I did laugh out loud at one part that I forgot about.
What part?
It was when, it was during the mystery of the Star Sapphire.
Yeah.
Where, I don't exactly remember what happened, but Hal was leaving a building or something, and he yelled, if you love something, set it free.
Yeah.
And then you turn the page, and he goes, I read that on a greeting card.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's hilarious.
Yes, that was funny.
Yeah, so I wanted to pull that, or point that out.
I also liked when Carol got her green suit in that part when she's like, give me a suit. She's like, I know how to fight because that thing was on my head.
Yeah, I like that too.
Lays her out. She's like, can I keep hitting her? And he's like, no, don't. he's like, she's done. She's done. Yeah. And so did you guys understand that if you have, if the Stars of Sapphire mates with a Green Lantern, it crystallizes the entire planet?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's like lore that he brought back from like the 60s or something, 70s. It's been like, I think that was always the thing.
That's cool.
Maybe I'm totally wrong, but I'm pretty sure that was
because he did tell the backstory of how there was one
that did
Green Lantern who did.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, out of how many lanterns? How many Star Sapphire now? How many charged lantern rings? How many would you give this one, Patrick?
I'm feeling generous. I'll go to a 5.
Will you?
Yeah.
Like overall, you enjoyed it enough. Thought
did.
it's set up well.
Right.
Yeah.
The Star Lantern, or the whatever, Star Sapphire thing. I wasn't a huge fan of that whole.
See, I think I liked that one better than the Hal Jordan, Wanted Hal Jordan, personally.
But, yeah.
But that's because I enjoy like the Carol stuff and things
Right.
like that. So, by the way, what did you think? Okay, now pause. What would you give it, Will?
I'd give it a 4.
A 4?
Yeah.
So a little less than your last reading of Ion.
It wasn't my favorite. I gave it a 4 because I recognize it's doing a lot of setting up. Like we're still pretty early in the story, so I'm like they got to get some of the stuff out the way. But yeah, I was kind of indifferent to it. Like I didn't dislike it a whole lot, but I just at the same time it wasn't like something I was really a fan of.
Yeah. Well, I mean, 4 is still good.
Yeah.
I think that and plus I want to say most of the Green Lantern stuff you've given like a 4.
Yeah,
or somewhere
so far
around there.
I've really
I think it's
enjoyed
pretty
reading.
consistent.
Yeah.
Where I'd give this a 5. I enjoyed it. I could drop it to a 4.5 because I debated, but I'm going to go ahead and give it a 5.
Me
I'm going to
too. I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, I'm going to do the Patrick and say that I'll give it for what I did enjoy out of it, and knowing the setup that they're doing and what's coming, and just enjoying seeing that. I'll give this a 5. But I mean, I'm biased. I love this stuff for the most part. Not always, but I do enjoy it most of the time. What did you think of the artist change for the Star Sapphire?
I did not like it.
See, I did. Patrick didn't like it either.
The new art, I
didn't
meant
like
to
it
bring
either.
that up.
It was just that arc. It'll go back to the other artist next.
Yeah, I looked just to make sure. Because I'm
Yeah.
like, if this stays, it's going to be real hard.
See, I liked it for the type of story it was. I did.
I mean,
Okay. I'm glad you enjoyed
but
it.
I think it's interesting because that's one of the things I love about comic books is
which
like,
is weird. It gave me the same vibes as when we read Umbrella Academy. Like the coloring, like Umbrella Academy was more like very geometrically shaped. Like everything kind of was,
Right.
you could definitely pick out like, squares, rectangles, triangle, whatever. But like the way it was colored and the whole like palette to it was reminiscent of Umbrella Academy.
interesting. I didn't think of that at all. But that's
There was so
probably
few-
because I don't think of Umbrella Academy.
There were
ever.
moments when it was very detailed, like when Cowgirl got hit in the bar and she came out and she had scratches. But then other moments, he barely even drew people's faces. Like,
But then, like when he would do constructs, they were like super detailed most of the time. Yeah.
And it's like he cared sometimes and didn't care at other points in time. And I just, I wasn't a fan.
See, I appreciate both. So the art that you guys did like out of the Wanted Hal Jordan, that's the artist that will be at Fan Expo. It's him.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I mean, and I love like his stuff is so clean. Like it just looks, it's detailed and it's clean and
Consistent.
It's super consistent. He's phenomenal, no question. So, yeah, I just wondered. I had said something to Patrick, and he had told me he didn't like the Star Sapphire art either, and I did. And so I wondered if you did or not, because sometimes you do like things that are more stylized, and so I wasn't
sometimes
sure.
I do.
But that one didn't hit for you.
Nah, I didn't. If it was more consistent, I would have been like, yeah. But it was so jarring because sometimes it would be like full detail, and then it'd flip, and for whatever reason, it's like at the very end when Hal is talking to Carol's ex-husband, the mechanic guy,
Well, that's
It's
her
like-
business partner.
her business partner now.
Yeah.
It's like neither one of them actually had a face.
Yeah, it was very subdued.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Sometimes the details were very subdued. I just like it's hard to explain. It's like the feel of it is
Yeah,
what I liked. But anyway.
Yeah.
And when it was detailed and it was like a character in a suit or something. It looked pretty awesome.
It did.
That's the thing, is like the detailed ones really popped on it, I thought. Like when Carol's in the cockpit. That almost made my wallpaper. Is when she was
a pretty good one.
That I have that one screenshotted on my phone because I really liked that. That it was like one of the first panels in the whole book. It was like the second page. So anyway, well, is there anything else? Because see, that is the one thing I wanted to ask that wasn't part of the structure. Or the second thing.
Right.
Anything else?
I don't think so.
Well, are you sure, Patrick?
I mean, I'm Patrick.
And this is Will.
And I'm Chris. And we are Guys with Issues. Still.
And always will be.
Forever.
You can catch Guys with Issues anywhere you can find your favorite podcasts.
Or check out our website at guyswithissues.com, where you can listen, find reading lists to follow along, and get to know us better.
Send us emails to longbox@guyswithissues.com and tell us your thoughts or send us suggestions on what we should read next. We would love to hear from our listener. A small disclaimer.
PG-13.
You did a good job staying on mic last time, by the way.
Thank you.
That's
Who's
how you were
Mike?
like the whole time.
I tried.
Who's
Whoa, bro. His mic. Oh, no,
So-
you know a mic.
Let's
That's
not
weird.
talk about my mic like that.
just
Actually, I
helped
know
me.
multiple mics.
Yeah, but there's one you know really well.
I mean, don't put it like that.
Is that not how you should say it after that awkward
It
conversation?
is not. No. There's one I've known for a long time.
Yeah, really well.
No.
He'd know him real good, real long time.
He even helps you install.